the game is evolving today, and so I think the abilities that I have that can aid me in the game, as far as my legs and my arm and my mental processing. The abilities that I have, they help me succeed better in the game that we play today. And what you do on the field determines your worth to these universities that are looking to invest. I think it's important, especially being a quarterback, to have a short memory. Yeah, man. All the fans, I am super excited to meet you all. Thank you all. Please be loud.
Everybody, welcome to the Frenchy Huddle. Today we have a special guest who play a special position in football. He played college football. He threw touchdowns, and like so many, he waited for the call. That call never came, but Jaylon Henderson didn't stop. He packed a bag, cross and a chain, and became a pro quarterback in Paris. This is a story about football, but more than that, it's a story about chasing dreams wherever they take you. Welcome to episode 5 of The Journey. And we are there with Jaylon Henderson. How are you, man?
Hello, how's it going, guys? Super excited to be here, and I appreciate you having me on today.
It's a special honor for me, especially to have a talk with the future MVP of the season. Ah, man, I'm already put you pressure. I'm sorry for that.
Okay, it's all good.
No. It's a joke. How are you so far? Are you in Paris now?
Yes, I am in Paris. Doing great. Enjoying as much as I can, getting out, and trying to see as much as I can. But also, understanding the main reason I came here, and that is for a job. And so I'm trying to, do that job to the best of my ability.
For sure, and you are in the really now in the end, almost the end of the off season. You have almost months ago for the season debut. Is all clean? Is all fine for you? All great
Yes,
so
yeah,
far.
it was great. Yeah.
Before we're talking about the Paris Musketeers and quarterback position, we have to from the beginning and and how everything starts. So for you, Jalen, how everything started? Pretty sure from your early age. How do you connect with football?
Oh, well, great. That's a great question. You know, for me, growing up where I did grow up in Houston, Texas, you know, Texas is a very big football state, American football state. And so, whenever you're born, you are sort of born into the game. And you start playing as young as you can. And so for myself, I started at age 5, and yeah, and so at age 5 until now, 20 plus years of playing football, 2 decades. It's I've learned a lot, gained a lot of experience, but it's brought me all over the world. It's why I'm here in France today, because of the game of football. So, started at a young age, and loved it ever since.
And for the people who will watch the episode, it's important to record that in America, it's really different than France. American football is playing in a different level, different organization, and different structure. I will say that's maybe the biggest difference you will find here. If you comparing with United States. So how do you develop your young career? Not just the on college, but before everything, for people to understand, because in my opinion, for a European people who want to try out in football, they have to try out before, and at least at college. But how works before for you, high
Uh,
school and
yeah,
and
yeah. So that's a great question as well. For me, I had a lot easier opportunity, easier access than your average European person would have, just because here in Europe, American football is not as popular as it is in America. Um, and so for me, my pathway and my journey could be a little bit different how it could be for a European. For me, going through school, we had American football in middle school. We had a team, we had a high school team. And then from there, you get recruited to play in college. and then from there you get recruited to play professional. Whereas if you don't have access to these to high school that has athletic American football, etc., um, it's trying to find a way how you can get your foot in the door. So what I mean by that is get an opportunity. So what if I'm a European guy, what is my likelihood of opportunity? Well, that is starting out as what type of junior college or what type first off, what type of connections of people do I know in America? And then, you know, starting from the bottom and working your way up. So starting at JUCO is typically a place where you go for development. It's not a 4 year university; it's a 2 year university. So you're not going to be there 4 years, but it's so you can develop and get those experience that a lot of American players have gotten earlier in their life. You can get that experience at a collegiate level and potentially get recruited from there. So, there's all different types of pathways as well. Um, there's pathways from high school kids in Europe to go play high school in America. Trying to figure out that drive, trying to figure out, that avenue of what direction. If you're, and I'm speaking for if you're a European player wanting to play at a super high level in America, etc. Um, but for my journey and my example, or for me in my life, like I said, I was born into the game of football, and I've pretty much played every single year for my entire life.
Yeah, you follow the process as the process
Yeah,
is there. So
you have
like we said before, it's a different structure, different culture, different organization, and it's called American football. At least it's normal that football is very well organized in America. It will be a little difference if
yeah,
calling American football. And for you, when you are in your early age between fifth to I will at least college, uh, I mean high school, uh, do you develop the fundamentals of the position or more the strength and the mentality of the game? Because that's maybe what could be a little uh, big for young people, even if you, I guess, played flag football first.
absolutely. I think the longer that you do play the game of football, the more experience you're going to gain. And so, what does that mean? You're going to learn how to operate um, within the fundamentals of football. You're going to learn how to build team chemistry with, creating a bond with a group of guys. You're going to learn how to handle adversity, how to handle situations whenever things aren't going right. You're going to learn how to handle that situation. Football teaches you a lot of stuff mentally, but also physically as well, with weight training, strength and conditioning. Football is very beneficial in that aspect as well.
Okay, so it's kind of important to be prepared. And do you play quarterback position from the beginning, or did you
So for
try
me, yeah.
different position?
So for me, I for the first 14 years of my life, played running back and linebacker. It wasn't until I got into seventh grade that we didn't have a quarterback on the team, and they needed somebody, and I was like, you know what? All right, I guess I'll play QB. I mean, don't really. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll play QB, and then from there on, as I got older, started to take it more seriously. Started to learn more about the position, learn more what it means to be a quarterback on and off of the field. And I've been able to develop myself, and to now I'm able to play professionally overseas.
Do you think that it's very interesting? I'm really asking you this without expecting any sort of precise answer, but you played running back. Is it important for a quarterback today, especially in RPO styles, or I would say Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Josh Allen, those quarterbacks who have the ability to be mobile, run, like Michael Vick was, I mean, the one who really revolutionized this
Yeah,
for me in the NFL. Is that helping you to be, I guess, because of your running back position history, to be mobile and be that be this triple threat. You can give the ball to the running back, you can throw the ball, but you also can run the ball.
Well, yes, I think with today's day and age and the evolution of where the game of football has gone, from your typical drop back 6'6", 6 foot 6 inches quarterback who's going to sit in the pocket and go through all these progressions and then find third check down. The game is evolving today, and so I think the abilities that I have that can aid me in the game as far as my legs and my arm and my mental processing. The abilities that I have, they help me succeed better in the game that we play today. Now, since the game is evolving, teams are evolving to be able to defend against what the game is evolving to today. And so, that's sort of what the game of football is. It's a game of constant evolvement. You never want to be somewhere complacent and comfortable. And so for me, it's just always trying to evolve and continue to grow and be the best that I can
Yeah, put the most card in your hand with your
be. Yeah,
ability. That's what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay, and we're going now to the college. How was the process between high school and college? Because of course in France we learn more between the college and football because it's more mediatic in France. But how works between high school and college? I guess it's kind of the same. You've been recruiting.
yep, yep. So essentially, in high school, right now there's a lot of guys in high school that have been training. A lot of guys, one, have personal training. Um, and those personal trainers, give or take, are credible guys in America or not credible guys in America. So if you're a kid who has a credible personal trainer, okay, you already are a step ahead of those guys who have no credible personal trainer, who have no personal trainer. You're already ahead of all those guys in terms of the relationships that your personal trainer has with connections to people for you. Does that make sense?
So yeah, it makes very sense.
Okay. And so essentially what happens is, the you have your private coach or whatever that you work with, and then there's all these different types of camps to get ranked in recruiting. And then so you go to these camps as well. And those camps, you have recruiting guys and a lot of scouts that are pretty much giving high school players a ranking of you're this good, you're this good, you're this good. And this is
Yeah,
all preseason stuff before the season even starts. And then then you play your season. You obviously can either create conversation for yourself or you can't, right? You can either be successful or you cannot be successful. Throughout the season, colleges are already rolling into schools. Hey, how's this kid? How's this guy? How's this guy? And so performing well during the season is something that is very can be very beneficial because that can blow your name up in this whole bubble that's
yeah,
around right now. And by bubble I mean like your recruiting class. So my
yeah,
class was 2015. The next class was 2016. So your recruiting class. So playing a good season is important, but also being a great person, not only on the field but outside of the field. So when these colleges are coming in high school, they're asking the coach, we obviously know that he's a good football player, but how is he in the classroom? How does he treat people outside of football? What kind of person is he? So that is an important role as well. The person that you are. A lot of these teams, they do not want to bring in a person who they are unable to coach. So someone who's non-coachable. They don't want to bring in somebody like that. They don't want to bring in somebody who's going to be a cancer to the team. They don't want to bring in somebody who was always a disruption in class and was always in trouble, and the teachers always have headaches whenever this person. They don't want to bring somebody like that to their program. So the type of person that you are off of the field, I think, is equally as important as who you are on the field. And what you do on the field determines determines your worth to these universities that are looking to invest in you to be their
Yeah.
asset, essentially. So that's pretty much how it goes in America.
It's really true because Patrick Cobbs was a running back for the Miami Dolphins in the same times than Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. It was kind of tough time to be a running back
Yeah.
in Miami. Great competition. Told me this the exactly same thing. You have to put the maximum cards in your hands on the field and off the field because the the recruiting process, high school or draft, is the same. They will pick a player that person as well. So both works in the same way. So what you say is very important, and maybe that is the part that we all forgot because we going to see the achievements on the field, but off the field it's kind of very important. And talking about off the field, you lived in Houston, Texas. One of my best friend of or it's not my uncle, it's Richmond Webb. It's come from
Okay.
Houston, Texas. So
Oh, nice.
I have to tell him hello from this and say
Yes.
you have another reason to come to France, to see me first and take a say hello to Jaylon Henderson.
Please
He
do.
protect the best quarterback in the history, not the best
Yeah.
player in the history because it's Tom Brady, but the best quarterback in the history has to be Dan Marino.
Yeah. There you go.
And how works for you the college experience, the entire experience at Boise State, if I'm correct?
Yes. Yes.
So
Um,
you enter as a quarterback, right?
yes. Went to Boise State as a
Okay.
quarterback. Stayed there 2 years, or played 2 seasons. Had a phenomenal time there. Was very, I would say, it was a very great process for the path of my life. The things I was able to learn there, the people I were able to meet, the connections I were able to make were all beneficial to my life and yeah, to this journey of football that I've been on. Great people, great fan base. Had a sold out stadium every single game, 40, 45, 40,000 fans or so. Sold out every single game. You know, came out with a championship, which is everyone's goal. So that's awesome. Came out with a most valuable player, which was my personal goal. So that's awesome as well. Um, and was able to know to create memories, and so was very appreciative of this time.
I- can we say it's a life lesson?
Absolutely, absolutely,
And in terms of maturity, it gives you so much.
absolutely. I think I saw my one of my biggest sense of growth in my life during this time for sure. You definitely learn a lot, um, but yeah, definitely for sure.
Congratulations first on everything you achieve. It's important.
Thank you.
And again, what do you prefer or like the most on the field when you are on the field? You know, in the middle of those games,
Yes.
when sometimes things works, things doesn't works. What do you like the most?
What do I like the most? I love being on the field and like actually being on the field in gameplay action. Um, that's what I'm having the most fun. Like, warm ups, you can be on the field, whatever. But when you're actually like when offense is on the field and I say hut and I'm having a blast. Whenever offense runs out there and I feel like I'm the driver in the bus, right? And this entire operation is going to start because I'm the one who's going to say, "Hey, set hut." Whenever I'm doing that, I'm having the most fun. I love to play the game, but I also love to learn about the game. I love, love, love going to meetings, which is might be kind of weird. I'm kind of a weirdo, which is okay. It's
It's
okay.
great.
I
I
own
mean,
up to it. I love
it's great. I'm on YouTube, man, so I am a weirdo too.
it. Yeah, it's fine. I own up to it. But I love having meetings. I love the art of having something that I'm watching and learning, and then feeling the gratitude of, oh, okay, wow, I get it now. I love that feeling as well. So, try to do as much as I can, and enjoy every second of it.
Preparation is everything, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, those 5 days. I mean, of work. I don't have the sentence in English. OJ McDuffie give me a sentence like, "You have fun 5 days a week and work one day." But I mean, you have to enjoy the hard work, the
Yeah.
all the weeks process. But I don't have that sentence. I mean,
Embrace the
when he say
grind.
that, it was crazy.
Embrace the grind. That's what we
Yeah,
say.
yeah, it's thing like that. And um, so you have to prepare yourself. I mean, the entire off season, the entire season. But like you say, I feel it's kind of amazing, and also I will not say unfair, because in sports it's not unfair. You have to
Mhm.
earn everything you have. But like you said, all the pressure is on you, that you hurt and starting the play, but you are depend on every teammates, because offense is an orchestra. If someone miss
Yeah.
something, the entire play, even if you did your job, the play can be uh, a bad one.
Yeah.
Offensive line or run route hasn't worked, connection hasn't worked, reading stuff like that.
Yeah.
So uh, when those things happen, what happened next? What happened to the next play? You guys erase and go focus on next, on trying to try to find solution on what happened.
Well, I think it's important, especially being a quarterback, to have a short memory. Never allow yourself to get too high, but never allow yourself to get too low either. You want to say just even kill throughout the. For me, at least, I try to just stay even kill throughout the game, not get too high, not get too low. And if something bad happens, on to the next play. It's already happened. You can't sit here and dwell on it, and on to the next play. And I like to tell myself to have a next play mentality. Next play mentality is something that I think a lot of QBs obviously have heard in their life before, and I think is very beneficial for any quarterback. I would any quarterback that I would teach, I would hone from day one. If something bad happens, we got to get to the next play. It is what it is. We got to play the next play. So, and then leadership, being a leader, carrying yourself. All these things go into it.
Yeah, because what we said, you can let a teammate be thinking of the last play. He has to be
Yes.
focused on the next one. So
Yep.
yeah, the pressure is on your shoulder. But I mean, it's amazing. I mean, what a great opportunity to be the centerpiece of an orchestra, because offense is an orchestra. I mean, in defense, someone can miss a tackle, the other one can make it.
Exactly.
You have that flexibility. I will say that way. A lot of respect to defense. I don't want to have any problem. My guy Digan, linebacker of the Paris Musketeers, will not let me saying that. Defense with championship. We all know that, guys. Don't get me bad. But on offense, every player has to be played perfectly. That's why I guess on training, it's all about building chemistry and repeating those plays, those run rights, those schemes that the offensive coordinator draw, right? So
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, a lot of, I mean,
Absolutely.
repeating. That's the right thing, or no?
Absolutely. It's a lot of repeating. For us, we do a lot of mental rep just to make sure that we go through the motions and understand that if we're trying to do the same thing but make it consistent, doing the same right thing consistently over and over and over. And so when you're practicing, getting those repetitive reps is something that is very very beneficial. And the older that you get, the more that you understand
I mean, that's and that's the same thing in life, in everything that you do. And I think that what separates a great champions to a player, it's when you're doing a game, a play, you want to do it in a better way next time. You want
that.
to improve it, even if it was good, right? So never be satisfied for what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we are in the final part of your journey. We go through 20 years like it was nothing, man. I'm sorry for that. But hey, we can have another talk another time, and we go
Yeah,
through more something
absolutely.
specific. But the first time, it's French community knows you,
Yeah,
because they will
yeah,
support you. So you see, this is someone who works actually his entire life to play this game. So it's kind of important. But hey, what happened to you coming in Paris? I mean, you a Houston guy coming in Paris. There is has to be something in the process.
yeah, man. You know, it was a long-ish process. Coach Matoli reached out to me. Um, want to say like 2 months before he left, and then he left. Obviously, that whole thing happened, and so it sort of went away. Didn't really know what was going to happen, and over the off season, I had been talking with the owners and just wanted to let things unfold and let the dust settle and them figure out things. I know that they had the athletes and etc., but it's going to be tough for me to commit somewhere when I don't necessarily have an idea who's going to be the one leading that team. So um, it was a longish process. For me, normal, but for I guess ALF standards, considering seeing how many guys were committed at that point. This was back in December, November. You know, it was probably early in the process, but for me, it seemed like it was a normal process. And whenever it came down to it, this was the best situation for myself, for me to be in a successful organization. I wanted to be around a lot of guys that were a team fit chemistry, and all the right puzzle pieces in the right spot. And I think that coming to Paris, that out of all the opportunities, this was the best decision to make, and couldn't be more excited for it. So
Yeah, the season is. I mean, I feel that everyone is fired up. But hey, what do you think about Paris life so far?
yeah, well, yeah, man, I haven't been able to do much. I've gotten out a little bit, but I haven't been able to do much enough to really build an opinion on the life. Um, yeah, I've been, doing a lot of studying, etc., and focusing on work, and stuff. But at some point, I will get out and about to Paris and go see what it's about, man.
Yeah, the main sport here is soccer. You have a great opportunity with Paris
Yeah,
Saint Germain, the soccer team. They are playing. The Champions League
yes.
is the and they can play semi-final if they win the next game this
Okay.
next week. So the week after, 2 weeks after that, it will be semi-final. You have to be like
Oh,
Jalen Daniels, go on the
oh,
stadium and
nice.
watch a soccer game, man.
Okay.
You will feel the environment of, because it's soccer is well more developed. So you can actually understand how fan base work in Europe. You have to remember this, because sometimes when I'm speaking with American, especially on American football, they think that sports is not very developed in Europe. Hey
Oh,
guys, you have to remember one thing: Messi and Ronaldo become the most famous athlete in the world playing soccer in Europe. So
yeah,
let's understand that the fan base is everything.
yeah,
And for the fans, the fans have to buy your shirt, man,
yeah.
also, and support you. What you can say to all the fans, you will to the Stade Bauer Stadium this season and watch you guys play, and I feel and I think win this season.
Yeah, man. All the fans, I am super excited to meet you all. Thank you all. Please be loud. I met a few of the Red Company last night. Awesome people, super down to earth, and exactly what we want. The support that they bring to the team is, from me, very, very, very appreciated. Um, you know, you guys don't know me yet, but let's give it some time, okay? We'll be all
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
Everything's come
Yeah,
with the right time,
yeah, yeah.
and best of luck for the season. I wish you all the best in your life and in sports and with the Paris Musketeers. I will hope that you will guys win the European Football League title this season, and why not you being the MVP of the season? But I don't want you to put so much pressure. But it will be amazing to have everything in your world. You deserve it. Your story is amazing. You work hard to be there, and man, let's see what Jack Del Rio can cook with his staff this season, and what you can cook on the field this season. I will be there to support you guys as much as I can. And hey, do you have a final word in French if you can, or if you not, say whatever you want.
I'll just keep it for myself for right now. I can say,
Okay, no.
well, I can't say. Oh, bonne nuit, bonne nuit.
Good night. Yeah, it's a work in progress. You
Yes.
can make a big step, because you have to be a bigger step next time. So be step by step, and it's
Yes.
very good. So next time I want you have a very
I'll be better.
precise.
I know
Yeah,
point
okay,
point.
man. At least 2 points.
Oh yes.
Hey, man, I appreciate. To all the people who watch this episode, please put a like, subscribe, and say positive comment to Jaylon Henderson, quarterback of the Paris Musketeers, and is en route to have a great season. See you guys.
Thank you.